what's going on? It's Latanya, and thanks for tuning into my channel. I hope all is well with everybody out there. So, y'all, I finally made my way to the movie theaters to check out Bad Boys 4, y'all. Or, I'm sorry, Bad Boys Ride or Die. But we gonna call it Bad Boys 4. Just like Bad Boys 3 was called Bad Boys for Life. We called it Bad Boys 3 because that's what we do, right? So, Bad Boys 4, my mother and I, we actually checked it out earlier today, and we had a really good time. We really enjoyed this film. Now, I knew I was enjoying it, right? But my mother, she's real funny acting when it come to movies, so I was looking over at her to kind of check her temperature to see if she was enjoying it, and she was into it. And I asked her a couple times, I was like, you liking it? She's like, yeah, I'm liking it. I was like, okay, we on to something or whatever, because I noticed that when it be a movie I like, she be like, I was like, and when it be a movie she be liking some movies, I be like, you really like this? You watching this or what? Okay, enjoy yourself. You know what I'm saying? I'm not trying to knock your hustle, but yeah, we really like this film. Now let me tell you something. I love hanging out with my mom. I love when we go to the movies. But let me tell you about this lady. This lady will talk through a film like no other. She'll tap everything that's happening in the movie. She'll tap me on my shoulder. Oh, you see. Oh, you see. Oh, she's trying to. Oh, did you see that? I seen it, and I'm trying to see what happened next, and I'm trying to hear what happened next. But you're tapping me on my shoulder, whispering certain stuff to me, and I'm missing the next line, and everybody in the movie theater, they laughing at what just happened, but I done missed it because you trying to talk to me about what happened 10 seconds ago. Listen, now when it's a movie that I've seen before, you know what I'm saying, we watching something, okay. But if I ain't seen it, let me catch everything. But shouts out to my mom. Ain't nothing like a mom. I'm sure most of us, if not all of us, got some stories to tell about our moms, our parents. Well, we like, ooh, let me tell you something. My mama do this thing right here, and she be cooking my grits. But, you know, I wouldn't trade her for the world. You know what I'm saying? But, yeah, we had a great time together, but she has not seen Bad Boys 3, or I'm sorry, Bad Boys for Life, but Bad Boys 3. She hadn't seen it, and it was very obvious with us watching Bad Boys 4. Because there were certain things that were happening. Because of course, you know, Will Smith, Mike Lowry, you know, he has a son. You know, my mom was like, "Well, what's going on? Well, what was? Oh gosh, mom, you got me, and you cooking my grits with extra butter." You know what I'm saying? So there were certain things she wasn't catching on to, and I'm trying to explain it to her a little bit real quick without missing too much in the movie. And let me tell you something. I distinctly remember one day I asked my mom, I said, hey, do you want to watch Bad Boys 3 together? And she said no, because I know we didn't go to the theater to see it together. So I for some reason, I sensed that she had not seen Bad Boys 3. I had seen it, but I had sensed that she hadn't seen it or whatever. And I asked her, I said, hey, you want to watch Bad Boys 3? And she was like, oh, no, I don't want to watch it. Okay, cool. Well, I didn't think much of it, right? But I paid for it today, because she was like, well, what that mean? Well, wait, huh? What? Okay, see, I don't even know if she done seen Bad Boys 2, now that I think about it. So anyway, a very great film. Now, I was a little nervous about this going in. Right now, I saw like a lot of people on social media was saying how good this film was. A lot of the movie critics were saying how good this film was. A lot of my friends who've seen the movie, they was talking about how good this movie was. But one thing I know to be true is sometimes y'all will gas some stuff up, and I'm going in thinking like, oh, everybody say this the cat's meow. It's like this better than sliced bread. And I get there and the bread be molded. I be like, okay, this is the cat is not meowing, the dog is not barking, the bread is stale, it's hard. This is not as good as y'all said it was. So even with all y'all saying all that, I still wasn't trusting y'all. And also, I'm gonna be honest with y'all, I wasn't too crazy about Bad Boys 3. You know what I'm saying? I just felt like with Bad Boys 3, it had kind of lost its essence. It had kind of deviated away from what made me fall in love with Bad Boys in the first place. And Bad Boys, the first Bad Boys that came out in 1995, that is one of my top 5 movies of all time. So when it comes to a Bad Boys movie and its sequels, I'm a little funny acting about that. So you gonna have to come through and deliver right now. Outside of the characters and the cast, the familiar faces in Bad Boys 3, it didn't really feel too Bad Boys-ish, right? It just felt like it was another action film, and I felt like Bad Boys 3 was trying to be too much like the other action films that were out at the time, and it was okay. I wasn't too crazy about it. So I was concerned that Bad Boys 4 was going to be the same way. But what did give me some kind of hope, right, was when I was looking online, because I'll be honest with y'all, I saw a lot of people saying that Bad Boys 4 was good, right? And I was looking on X, formerly known as Twitter, right? So I did a Twitter search, and I searched for Bad Boys trash, right? I searched for that because I wanted to see, because I noticed that whenever, I don't know if it's something with the algorithm or whatever, but because there's a push, right, to get people to go out and see Bad Boys, I didn't know if the algorithm or some kind of promotional thing, or it was working in a way, or if they were trying to promote it in a way to only push the positive comments about the movie. So I searched for Bad Boys trash to see how many people, if anybody, was saying that Bad Boys 4 was trash. And I didn't see what nobody was saying Bad Boys 4 was trash. So I was like, okay, now that's a good sign right there. I still wasn't trusting y'all all the way, but I was like, okay, okay, y'all might be onto something. Y'all might be done redeemed yourselves. And y'all did. I love the storyline there. Now, this is not intended to be a spoiler alert, even though I'm going to talk about a couple of things that happen in the film, but I don't plan to give it away. But if you have not seen, it done been out for over a week now, so for the most part, I'm sure there are other people who are going to go see it who haven't seen it yet, but for the most part, this is the second weekend it done been out. Most people who were really anxious to see it have seen it by now, I'm going to assume, or whatever. So, but yeah, I ain't going to talk about every detail in the film. But yeah, I thought the storyline, it was very dope. I felt like it was a believable storyline. It was very interesting or whatever. I felt like it was a way to keep people in the movie who didn't live past Bad Boys 3. I'm sure most of y'all know who I'm talking about by now or whatever. But yeah, it was nice to see Captain Howard in Bad Boys 4. You know what I'm saying? Little glimpses. Shouts out to Martin Lawrence, y'all. Let me tell y'all something. I'm proud of Martin, right? Because we know Will Smith has become this mega movie star who, it's not strange or odd for us to see him in action-like films or whatever. Martin Lawrence kind of been laying low a little bit, so we don't see him as much, or I don't see him as much as I see like a Will Smith. So I was happy to see Martin Lawrence and see how he was going to perform in Bad Boys 4, and I thought he did a great job. Like, it was just nice to see him being himself. His naturally funny comedic self, right? Having his, action scenes or whatever, and kind of being a little Mike Lowrey-ish in the movie or whatever, still being him. I guess ever since Bad Boys 2, Marcus Burnett, he's kind of been in tune with his spirituality, and it's kind of been this different individual, right? That Bad Boys 2 really shaped Marcus Burnett into being the character that he's been in Bad Boys 2, Bad Boys 3, and Bad Boys 4. We didn't really see him that way in Bad Boys 1. We knew he was, the married one or whatever, so we knew that, it wasn't too shocking to see the path he went along or whatever, but yeah, Bad Boys 2 really set the tone for the rest of the Bad Boys movies. So yeah, it was dope to just see him and how he had his moments. I love to see Reggie or Reggie. I don't know what his real name is or whatever, but just to kind of see him becoming this character, I wouldn't be surprised that if there is going to be a Bad Boys 5, which let's just take this moment to enjoy Bad Boys 4 for right now. But if they are going to carry on with the Bad Boys series and have another sequel to it, I wouldn't be surprised if we saw Reggie's character kind of be more to the forefront, because he had some scenes in this Bad Boys 4 where I was like, okay, you know what I'm saying? And then the guy who's playing Will Smith's son in the movie, y'all just giving me flashbacks to watching this movie with my mom, because my mom was, that his son? Yeah, that's his son. Is you not watching the movie? Anyway. So yeah, I wouldn't be surprised that if we're gonna get a sequel to this Bad Boys 4 film, I wouldn't be surprised if we saw the Will Smith or Mike Lowry's son reappear, right, and be more to the forefront. I mean, he was very much so in the forefront in Bad Boys 4. So again, if there are any more sequels or whatever, I expect that to continue. So yeah, it was dope to see how some of the characters are developing before our very eyes. Now, I gotta be honest. So I saw some time ago where Teresa Randall was not gonna be in Bad Boys 4, but I have forgot. I have forgot. So to see somebody outside of Teresa Randall playing Teresa, Marcus Burnett's wife, I wasn't feeling that. You know what I'm saying? Shouts out to Tasha Smith. I feel like she's very talented or whatever. But if there's anything that might have made me feel like, oh, I don't know about that. You know what I'm saying? It was to see somebody else that's not the original Teresa playing Teresa. You know what I'm saying? Now listen, Tasha Smith, I'm so used to her being like funny, you know what I'm saying? And just kind of, louder, us hearing her more. So to see her play like a more reserved role, and I get it, you know what I'm saying? Like sometimes you know, and this could be Tasha Smith kind of stepping outside of what I know her to be and what I'm sure a lot of other people know her to be. So I get it. I'm not mad at her, but it's just going to take me getting used to it. It threw me off guard, watching the movie. I was like, oh shoot, that's right. Teresa Randall is not going to be in the movie. So I was like, okay, this is, you know what I'm saying? I was thinking to myself, oh man, I wish they would have just let Marcus get divorced or something like that. I'm someone who clings to a character, right? When I see somebody playing this role or whatever, and then you switch it up on me, I feel a certain type of way. Look, it took me a little minute to get used to the new Aunt Viv, and now that I'm thinking about it, because it was Will Smith playing on the Fresh Prince, I guess Will Smith was like, well, this ain't nothing new to me. I'm used to seeing the characters change or whatever. Hey, it was a little, it took me a moment. They switched the mama on Family Matters. I was like, okay. They switched the little girl on My Wife and Kids. Listen, now the little girl on My Wife and Kids, she wasn't on there for a whole lot of time or whatever, so it didn't take me too long to get. Anyway, the point I'm trying to drive home here is, y'all done switched Teresa up on me, and I ain't appreciate it. But I mean, I get it. I guess there was something that was happening behind the scenes. Something I didn't even really read too much into the story, because it was so long ago. But I think they were saying like something was going on with Teresa or whatever. I don't know, whatever. But I mean, I get it. You had to make it work the best way you could or whatever. But yeah, that was just, the moment that made me, one of the moments where I was like, I don't know about this. You know what I'm saying? Now when the movie started off, I was a little concerned or whatever, because I was ready for it to get to the action. You know what I'm saying? But I understand, like, whenever you have these sequels, right? And it's kind of been some time since the last one, which Bad Boys 3 came out in 2020, so it was just 4 years ago, 4.5 years ago, so not so long ago. But, historically, there's been quite a bit of time from one Bad Boys film to the next. The first Bad Boys came out in 95. The second Bad Boys came out in 2003. 2003, and then we didn't get Bad Boys 3 until 2020, right? And then you got, 4 years between. So this is the shortest amount of time between any two Bad Boys films. But the point I'm trying to make is that whenever you have so much time that happens between movies and, the sequels, the follow-ups, you kind of got to let the viewers know what's been going on and what's happening in this person's life or whatever, or what's been happening in their life or whatever, to make the movie make sense, and then, you got certain characters reappearing, and you want to drive home that, this person is going to be kind of a focal point in this film. So I get it, right? But when the movie was starting, I was like, okay, they kind of taking a little minute or whatever to get to where I need them to be. You know what I'm saying? And then there was a moment in the beginning where I was like, oh, shoot, because last movie we had... Listen, I'm trying not to spoil it too much, but eventually I'm going to spill some tea or whatever. But, yeah, you had Bad Boys 3 where you had something that appeared to be almost detrimental happen to Mike Lowry. Now you got Bad Boys 4 where it's looking like it's something happening with Marcus Burnett. I'm like, okay, what the world or whatever. But it quickly, after that, it kind of quickly got to where I wanted it to be, and I was like, okay, yeah, I'm really enjoying this. Now, there was also a moment in the movie where I felt like kind of played into, or was like a spinoff of, or kind of, I felt like it was deliberate, right? And it was kind of reminding us of the whole Oscar slap situation, right? With Will Smith, and then you had in this movie. I'm about to tell this part. I'm about to tell it or whatever. So you had in this movie Marcus Burnett slapping Mike Lowry, and I felt like that was intentional, right? Slapped him one good boom, then slapped him a couple more times, and I felt like I said, okay, I see what y'all did there. Y'all cannot convince me that was not intentional, right? And I felt like it was needed, and it was perfect, right? Because, everybody knows what happened with the whole Oscar slap with Will Smith and Chris Rock. Now, even though this is fiction, but now you have it showing Will Smith now being slapped. I mean, again, it's the movie or whatever, so it's not the same as somebody just like we just looking on social media and we saying like, oh, Will Smith done got slapped or whatever. But I felt like that might be the closest we might get to seeing the shoe being on the other foot. Let me say that. So, yeah, and it was a funny moment the way it happened. I don't know if other people in the movie caught it or whatever, but I'm assuming y'all did. We some pretty smart people. We catch on to certain stuff or whatever. So yeah, I enjoyed it. I like the movie. I'm not gonna give the whole storyline away. That's the most I'm gonna get into it. I've kind of given you some detail about this slap. I done told you they didn't. And I got Teresa. They don't replace Teresa, y'all. I ain't like that, but outside of that, if you have not checked it out, what you waiting for? What are you waiting for? Right? So, again, Bad Boys, if I didn't mention it, I feel like I mentioned it earlier, but just in case I did, because this is not the first, I'm going to be honest, this is not the first take of me recording this or whatever. So I know in some other takes, I think I did mention that Bad Boys, the first Bad Boys that came out in 95, is one of my top 5 favorite movies of all time. But everything is merging in together now. So if I didn't say that, Bad Boys, the first one that came out in 95, that's one of my favorite top 5 movies of all time, right? So if I'm going to rank Bad Boys 4, Right. If I'm gonna rank the Bad Boys 1, 2, 3, 4, in the order of how I prefer them, favorite to least favorite. Bad Boys, the first one that came out in '95, that's my favorite. Right now, let me tell y'all something. For a moment, Bad Boys 2 was kind of getting up there for me, but Bad Boys 1 for me is undefeated. You know what I'm saying? So the first Bad Boys, yes. I'm going to say maybe Bad Boys 2, but with Bad Boys 4, Bad Boys 4 can kind of, in my book, give Bad Boys 2 a run for its money. But I'm going to say Bad Boys 1, then Bad Boys 2, then 4, then 3. But I want to know your thoughts. Have you seen all the Bad Boys movies? Listen, if you have not seen them all, if you're gonna go to the movies with somebody who has seen them, don't bother them. Not while the movie on. Just watch the movie. Wait till the movie is over with before you start asking questions. Don't don't be like my mom and be like, oh, what that mean? Oh, did you? Don't do that. Okay, don't do it. But let me know what you feel about Bad Boys 4 or Bad Boys Ride or Die. You know what I'm saying? What did you feel about the film? If you checked out all the Bad Boys movies, how do you rank them from 1 to 4? Let me know. Drop your comments below. Before I get up out of here, y'all, so listen, whenever I find a good deal, I if y'all have watched other videos by me, you know I'm frugal and I like to find me a good deal, y'all, and I'm always looking for a good deal on some sneakers, right? So check this out, y'all. Do people still? I wear Vans still. I say that I asked that question, right, because I don't be seeing like a whole lot of people wear Vans as much as they did once upon a time. You know, like one time Vans was like really. Now it's, you know, it really don't matter what you wear now. It's like do your own things. I mean, some of the kids or whatever, they got their trends or whatever. But listen, I still like these Vans or whatever, and I got me a pair of Vans from Ross, y'all. Listen, ooh, these big old feet of mine or whatever. Ooh, I be insisting on showing the shoes on camera. Then I get it up here and I be like, oh, they big. But anyway, got me some Vans from Ross. I know you see the Ross tag or whatever. I refuse to flip it over because I think the size of the shoe is on the other side of the tag, and it ain't none of y'all business what size shoe I wear. But I got them. And it says comparable value. Some people pronounce it comparable. Some people pronounce it comparable or whatever. Comparable for whatever. I almost flipped it over. Y'all didn't see it anyway. Comparable for me, it just, you know, when you say it, it just makes it seem like you're just, for me, I be feeling like I'm saying something. I'm using some vocabulary when I say comparable. You know what I'm saying? But it says the comparable value is $75. I got these shoes for $34.99. Ooh, wait a minute, cause y'all know the size is in the shoe, so I won't be holding this shoe up over here because the size is in this shoe or whatever. It's not in here or whatever. But yes, I got these for $34.99. I think these are cute, y'all. Let me just tuck this on in here so it won't be no kind of confusion and I don't have to block none of y'all for talking mess about my feet. I think these are fly. I'm looking all around the shoe to make sure the size ain't showing. These are cute to me. I have to hold that this angle. Yeah, y'all. You know what I'm saying? I think these are fly. I've been getting me some good deals on some shoes or whatever, y'all. One of these days, I'm going to have a sneaker closet the way some of y'all be having a sneaker closet. But y'all, listen, y'all be having some fly-looking sneaker closets and shelves. But I be looking and I be like, man, I know them shoes cost $200. Them shoes, they cost about $300. Them about $100 and something. Ooh, my sneaker, if I ever develop a sneaker shelf or closet or wall like that, it'll definitely, I'm going to have to name it. It's going to be called the clearance sneaks. I ain't came up with a name for it yet, but trust and believe every shoe on that wall is probably going to be $60 max. If it's something that costs over $100, oh, trust, it's some shoes I've been looking at for the past 10 years, and it don't seem like the price gonna drop on them. So I just had to go ahead and get them because I needed them. I wanted them real bad. But yeah, my sneaker wall, if I ever get one and decide to show it to y'all, it's gonna be I'm gonna show y'all how to bargain shop for some shoes. But anyway, y'all, I just wanted to show y'all this or whatever. Listen, you know what I'm saying? These right here got me some Vans on y'all fold. You know what I'm talking about? What y'all better stop playing with me. I got my Vans. Y'all probably like, I know she ain't going crazy over and over. And $35, $34.99 to be exact. And But anyway, y'all, I'm about to go. Like I said, go check out Bad Boys 4 if you have not had the opportunity to check it out yet. I think it's worth checking out. I definitely would like to see a Bad Boys 5, but again, we gonna enjoy Bad Boys 4 while we have it here. Let me know your thoughts about it. Of course, y'all like this video, share this video, tell a friend to tell a friend to tell a friend about my channel, subscribe to this channel, and turn those notifications on so that you know when I drop my next video. But y'all, I'm about to go to the next time. Y'all, I'm out. Peace.